My great-grandpa, one of my 4 great-grandpas, was Syrian. I think I told this story on stream, but at least you completely understand why I am like I am. World War One, not two. World War One. I know that you, Pillow, you know a lot about history. We are not talking about the literally dumbest thing you can do is shit yourself. The second dumbest thing is closing yourself in a bubble. Precisely, 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 uh, precisely, precisely. My great grandpa was Syrian. World War One. That's so you see why I agree with what he's saying that of the plague concept. He was a rich merchant, right? He was a Syrian rich merchant in that sense. In that sense. He was there. We're talking about before World War One. He was grabbed and sent to the front without any military experience. Without any military experience, he was sent to the front to die like cannon fodder, because then the soldiers were at the back, just like what they are doing now with their attacks and their and the horrible things that we've seen on TV. I think I cannot talk about them precisely, like specifically the atrocities that they did the last October the 7th. In that sense. But just so you know that they are doing atrocities since World War One at least, my great-grandpa was sent to die to the front line as cannon fodder. By chance of life, he survived. By chance of life, he survived. In that sense, he survived. He survived. And then he came here as a refugee, as a stowaway, by miracle, and he survived, and he could rearm his life. When he returned to Syria, to check on his by then wife and children, there wasn't even his house. Everything had been decimated. His house, his wife, his children. Those are Middle East powers for you in 5 minutes. So, but you can see, people, that I wouldn't even exist as a human being if it was for that religion that precisely he's mentioning. In that sense. So, consider all of that before you hate me, at least. That at least I have logical reasons as to say why that religion is a huge problem for the West, and that Europe shouldn't forfeit its identity just to embrace whatever they are proposing. In that sense, bro, I'm pro-life. You were pro-abortion. No, not pro. You're pro. No. You mean in the conflict, in the context of the conflict. Yeah. You were pro. You were pro-abortion, but in that case, you are pro-life in general. I bet you want both of them to not kill anyone. In that sense. But well, Pillow, at least tell me that you understand why, in this specific context, I choose to be with the US. That at least that it doesn't offend you. I don't care. And in the full inclusion of Balanin individual into full rights, well, no problem, Pillow. But at least that what I say, that you understand why I say it, and that it doesn't offend you. Only that is all I ask. I don't ask anything else. It's perfectly fine. But as I said, of course, don't fill the chat with free Palestine or whatever as a spam in that sense. But you're polite. Tuesday's solution was tried and led to anything else failed horribly. Well, perfect. No worries at all, Pillow. No worries at all. As long as what I say does not offend, in my case, it's not a problem. Not a problem. This is even dumber and unrealistic. Well, on that we agree. I think it's absolutely unrealistic. Oh well. It's absolutely unrealistic. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. So well, as long as what I say, bet you can see why I go for the utter removal of the Middle East powers, because it's a problem of that comes from 2,000 years ago. They just hate Christianity, and there's nothing I bet you can do about it. The I think I just in case I don't know, but I won't. I cannot. Don't know if I can say it. For no reason other than the nationally disturbing, say the least, the full letting people in with right is the only human soul. Well, in that sense, uh, I disagree with that, because I think they are being taken as hostages. They're being taken as hostages by the bad people of the story, let's say. And when you are taken as a hostage, pretty much there's two solutions. Either you can be rescued, or the threat is eliminated, and sadly you're sadly collateral damage in that sense. I think they are being taken as hostages. I think they are being taken as hostages, and I think precisely von der Leyen is not precisely. Well, there is more than 340 in. Well, precisely that. Well, I honestly, you know that I am that I like the Roman Empire and everything, and I didn't get into Middle East history in that sense. I cannot help you with that. With Middle East history, sadly, uh, is not what I read about. I read about Western history, because I think it's the one that truly civilized humanity, and that's why it's important in that sense. So yeah, in that sense, sorry, I cannot help you on that. Peace, you they live in complete peace in that sense. Other countries, in that sense. Well, that, but no, I mean the cultural replacement of Europe in general. Besides, uh, I think I can say the country. I think I can say Israel. Besides Israel, I mean Europe. My worry is also about how Europe in general, Western Europe, is being taken as a hostage by population that simply does not integrate. I had to uh, deal with to get my Italian citizenship. I had to fill paperwork up until telling where my great grandpa lived in Italy before World War II happened. And well, I think Phantom also disagreed with me that he said the Germans, nobody is hosting them anymore. Germans and their MERS. Anyways, well, I don't know. I just don't want the European identity to be replaced, the German identity, the British identity, the Italian identity, the Polish identity to be replaced with all of us eating kebabs. It's just as simple as that. And if people cannot adapt to to the basic culture derived from Roman Christianity in that sense, and they hate Christians or Western population in general, if they actively hate them, then it's not fair. It's not fair, because they're entering illegally in that sense, and I, for example, had to fill in paperwork like crazy, like years and years of paperwork, um, before I could get Italian citizenship. The UK is batshit insane since 1990. Well, you know I love the UK, so in that sense, it is true that I think it's going through a dark period, but I think that so far it's been the most stable out of all of us. France is the core of revolutionary identities since Louis XVII died. Eventually, something will blow up, and Italy had an election in the light naked. That else, yeah, pretty much. But well, in my case, as I think you know that I'm a monarchist. If you don't, I'm a monarchist. In that sense, I believe in a monarchist Uh, well, we don't. In a monarchy like in the UK, I think it adds an extra layer of stability beyond what the political sign may give to it, and I think that's highly positive. Know that I'm a British monarchist in that sense. Um, but no worries at all. But no worries at all. I get that. I think you liked which one was in technocracy? No, that was the other Polish viewer. You liked pretty much more liberal one, more liberal democracy than a monarchist one. And for a fully democratic state with maximum representation and rights to its public. Yeah, precisely. But it's instead of a monarchy, it's a parliamentary with a prime minister, a parliamentary republic. That sounds like the figure of the king. I think the figure of the king does play a role that gives an extra layer of stability to it in that sense. Not a dictatorship, people. Polish, Ukrainian, Belarusian public, that is. Presidential or parliamentary? Tomato. Yeah, no. Polish, Ukrainian, Belarusian public. Uh, Polish, Ukrainian, Belarusian public. Wait, what? The three at the same time? Presidential or parliamentary? Yeah. Presidential or parliamentary. I like more a monarchist. A monarchy like the UK. In that sense, I disagree with that. I think it's been with its ups and downs. I don't deny that it has had ups and downs. I think it's been the most stable out of all of our European countries so far. In that sense, Polish state should include the Belarusians and well, you want to expand it. Well, not expand it, to integrate them. You want to integrate everyone. But wouldn't you fear losing the identity like that? As they are the most ethnically good? Well, well, in that sense, I don't know what religion, if you share the religion exactly with them, for example. I don't know if they are Orthodox, Protestant, and we have been living close to each other for centuries since the 16th one. But wasn't Belarus like supporting the Russian dictatorship that is sadly going on there? As I said, I do believe that a lot of the population are victims. Orthodox Christians and Catholicism support each other these days. Okay. You know more about your zone in that sense than me. You know more about that zone than me. What I can tell you is that, well, as I said, don't blame the people for the faults of the state. It's precisely what I just said. The Russian population, in 99% of the cases, is not responsible for what he's doing. Yeah, precisely what I said 3 times already. Precisely. As I've said, it's not the population. Not the population. That's why I told you that the other ones are also hostages over at Middle East. That's why I told you that they are hostages of the big bad criminals, and that's why Trump did a good of good calls. Neither is Belarus. Okay. No. Of course not. Of course not in that sense. No. Shit. No. As I said, same applies. The magnus opus of my Poland is a Polish state with 50 million people, a road block for precisely the Russian invasions. Yes, I was commenting this. Pillow, that here in my channel there's majority of Polish viewers now. Well, there's 3 of them. In that sense, I can say that, well, it was an irony of fate that I thought that Polish viewers at the beginning didn't like me, and well, now they are like, they love me. You're Romanian, says District. Well, District, this is Pillow, and precisely he's an old viewer. He was here last year, precisely. A Romanian, says Pillow. He's a Pillow. You're a bit more liberal in that sense, more or less. You wanted to legalize the prostitution and those things. Hi, says District. Well, this is Pillow. I had a long story. Well, there was a misunderstanding. Well, as I said, it was a misunderstanding. I got it wrong when he unfollowed the channel. It was for other reasons, apparently, and we're doing a clean slate here. We're doing a clean slate, as I told him. I don't have any harsh feeling. Opinion on new president, the Nicosar guy. Oh, he knows also. He loves chatting about politics in that sense, and about precisely the zone of there of the Balkans of Romania. He's from Poland as well. Here we'll have to organize. What's the name of the parliament? Is the Dunia. Sorry if I not pronounce it correctly. In that sense, so we have to establish we'll have to establish a Polish parliament here anytime. So it's Pillow, Ambra, Axis, and the Ender. That would be 4 Polish viewers. They have majority here district now. Huh? They have the majority. Here I need to get some of my friends from Star Wars: Your Republic from the US and tell them to come so we balance it out. In that sense, we need to balance it out. There's a clear domination of Poland in the channel, in that sense. What a lose. Let's see if about money we just could start. Oh, you pay more for electricity, so he immediately increased the taxes district. Population 101 in that sense. Okay. Yeah. Well, here in Argentina, we had elections. You know that we have like a mini Trump, right? In our case, it's a libertarian. That's it, Pillow. I never asked you if you know about my president. It is true. About Malay. Does anyone here know about Malay? In that sense, you know. Okay, Pillow. Okay, Pillow. I knew you wouldn't know about it. Bet you don't like him. No worries at all. Yeah. I think I explained it once. I think the Argentinian Trump. Well, there. I think I explained it. It was a different case from the US. It was much more extreme back in 2023. He's a doctor in economics. He had to pretty much. It was like this. It was much more extreme than the US with Trump. My country, as I told you, you know what? As I said, for 70 years, my country spend more than what the taxpayers could provide to the state, right? Like deliberately, on purpose. They spend more. If you do it once, what does it happen? It causes inflation, because you have to print bills to compensate for the deficit that you are creating, right? That's why I said that I don't support conservative governments that spend more than what the taxpayers can give to them, unless it's a real, like being invaded by an attack by other countries, something really, really extreme. Which is definitely not the social assistance that we see. On that I disagree. For example, I agree with Patrick from Hungary about those things. So you do it once. Javier is just a really uncertain president. We'll see what he does. So far, so good. No, Pillow. In our case, it was extreme. Imagine for 70 years, Pillow. You know, I bet you know it. You are quite you are a bailiff. You're quite educated and everything. Imagine for 70 years the state spending more than what the total population of taxpayers can give to it, right? You do it once, you generate a bit of inflation. Okay, no, it's not a problem. I mean, economically, yes, well, precisely because of that. That was the key of the problem. 1 year. We're talking about 1955. After World War II and everything here, a certain president won, and let's say, he was a puppet of precisely of the Soviet Union. He was a puppet of the Soviet Union, basically, believe it or not. 1 year, you create inflation. All right, no problem. I print the bills. and problem solved. I print the bills and that's it. Like that, the people don't feel the inflation, the silent tax. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. You do it for 70 years. For 70 years. You do it for 70 years. And you get the current situation we are in. He has the problems, the corruption allegations, and Parliament might be his undoing. The corruption allegations, here, most of us suspect, knowing the demon, the criminals he has in front of him, the criminals that he has in front of him, because they are not politicians, directly they are criminals. Most of the population believes it's an operation by intelligence services, without a doubt. He just had an unfavorable local election, but if I told you the things they do locally, you would see why I bet he will recover control of the parliament, that he has never had. If he gets corruption charge, it's over. I highly doubt it, trust me. That's why it could be an undoing. I don't think it will be the case. If I told you the things that the criminals that he's facing are doing, the things, for example, in this last election that he had unfavorable and everything, for example, they grab a car, right? They grab a car. This is what in our case, these are socialist communists. They are deplorable in that sense. They are not social liberals even. They are like semi-communists. They grab a car. They grab people to get to vote, offering them, I don't know, no more than the equivalent of $10. And because of the poverty they themselves created for those $10, they grab them all to vote. He has no fiscalization of the votes. He has no control of the votes because precisely he was not prepared in the structure of the government to assume. But once that stabilizes, I hope for my own good and the good of everyone in here that he takes control of most of the parliament in that sense. So in that sense is that. And regarding why he got to power, we had 70 years of economic deficit because of the supposedly social assistance. That's why my 2 cents, people, don't fall for that trap, because we've already seen it here for 70 years. You spend more than what the taxpayers can give you once, twice, 3, 70 years, Argentina. 70 years. Inflation. First of all, 4 bankruptcies of the state and inflation. He reduced inflation from 17,000%. 17,000%. He reduced it to 50. Only because of that, anyone who honestly doesn't vote for him either doesn't understand the economic process of Argentina in that sense. Plain and simple, it's absolutely understandable. Ignorance exists, sadly, but only because of that, 17,000 to 50 yearly. In that sense, only because of that is enough of an indication that he needs to stay, regardless of the rest. In that sense, regardless of the rest. If he did those things, I agree, justice and everything, then. But what he has in front of him, is that plus criminals. And as I said, most of the population, myself included, we believe it's an operation from intelligence services, because they also control the spies. They left the spies in the government as well. So in that sense, the economy cannot be touched. In that sense, we've had enough suffering for 70 years. My grandparents, my great-grandparents, my parents, we've all suffered the economic policies of communism here. So imagine, people, imagine if I know what I'm talking about. We got to 1.5% inflation per day. per day, each day of the month. Monthly 30, yearly 17, because it's exponential. The problem is that most people add it and it's exponential. The inflation you have per month is exponential. That's why it should be close to zero. And if it's not close to zero, with the excuse of the social assistance, your government is spending the money on things that it shouldn't. I saw comic consequences with my own it must be own eyes. The problem here is the Americanization of politics. Well, I don't know exactly what you mean by Americanization of politics, by like I don't know how it would be in what sense similar to the US. But one thing the US has done perfectly right so far has been the economy, be, with all of its that it has exploited in his own territory and everything since World War II. In that sense, the economy, I think no one here would say that the economy of the US hasn't been stronger than our countries. At least in that, we should have learned. We should at least be humble enough as to learn a bit, being a superpower and everything. Poland A and Poland B. One is liberal, like Czechia. I mean, two parties. All right. You mean the bi-party system every 5 years. One is conservative, like Slovakia. I always wanted to investigate the history of all of those countries that never get attention. For example, Slovakia, Czechia. There's one, the one I will forget the name, the one that is that is to the right of Italy, that I've heard is like amazing, where they recorded Game of Thrones, those things. One is conservative, like Slovakia. The ironic thing is that the conservative are more socialists in economy. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing that Milei doesn't have. He is applying an orthodox recipe, and it has worked. Pillow. If you hate him because of the fact that he's conservative, I have no problem at all. But I can assure you that the economy he did, it's being called a miracle. He reverted 70 years of deficit. I do not. Well, no worries if that's the case. Because I know he's conservative and everything. Besides that, it was more of the economy. He's a doctor in economics, and he has proven exactly what is happening here, because nothing uh, can be done. You mean in Poland? You mean in Poland? In that sense, you don't like the bi-party system, the fact that it's like two parties instead of being multi, because the president vetoes 92% of all the laws by the parliament. In Argentina or in Poland, you mean? Because here he also vetoed some crazy laws. Crazy laws in Poland. No, we have multi-party system. Okay. Yeah, we also have multi-party. The problem is that uh, by necessity, here they had to associate so the country wouldn't bankrupt for a fifth time, because they were doing that. They just spend. Here, you get my point. Here they just spend. But it's built in a way where the big parties are less likely to lose. Yeah. Yeah, but well, if I could tell you, I had the opposite experience. When we had multi-party system, you know what happened? That let's say, what you are mentioning is the ideal situation. What you're mentioning is the ideal situation. But you need a system that is so extremely balanced that all of the economic problems of the country are solved. Like, that system would work in something like, I don't know, Switzerland. But in the average country, I think at least the US system ensures that the representation is more exact, as because here what happened, as you cannot take votes from the other party by using, let's say, brand B, brand C of a socialist or a conservative stance. In that sense, they can't go. The big parties are less likely to lose, and they can't go either way and are stuck in a path where we bite at each other. Yeah, but well, I'll tell you the situation here. What you are saying about the multi-party system is a system that Argentina has as well, just like Poland, in theory, in theory, in theory. And I agree that in a perfect scenario, is the most efficient because you get ideas from groups that maybe, for example, here I'm not represented. For example, I would love a realist monarchic party in Argentina, and it doesn't exist. For example, and I would suggest things like, I don't know, like I don't know that I don't know, suggest a monarchy or something like that. I don't know, whatever. But at least it's heard, even if it's never voted then. But at least we are represented, and I would vote that. But if I vote that, then what happened in Argentina is that for 70 years we worked like that with the multi-party system, and always the communism one united, and the others were all separated. So it was, for example, hypothetical situation, the last election of governor of the main province, it was 40% communism, let's say. It's not social democracy, it's communism. It's socialist communism. Like, no police, taking the means of production. They take the factories with the they use social organizations, and for example, which one was it? The other one. For example, they took hold of the associations of workers, in that sense, um, of the different types of workers. For example, the 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 the, the ferrymen, the people over at factories, etc. Well, that pure communism. 40%, right? 40% below. And then conservative A gets, these are real numbers, 20%. Conservative B gets 30%. What did they disagree on? Well, maybe one was in favor of abortion and the other one was not. I think it's not enough of a reason as to justify dividing the vote in two. Like, because at the end of the day, the core of the matter was, because see the problem, the core of the matter was that Party A and Party B of the conservative side, they both agreed that the state had to spend less than what the taxpayers could give. So they wanted to. They agreed on that. This is what happened. This is the situation of Millet with the other party that we have. The, let's say, more right center one. They agreed on that, but they didn't like the fact that Millet was supposedly, I think they said, it was aggressive on the discourse because he shouted a lot. He needed to do that because otherwise he couldn't unify the 20% of the center right and the 30% that we were, let's say, more right wing in that sense. And I think it's fair because the representation of this parliament that we have now, that you see that it's going against him, it does not represent reality. It's like delayed 2 years. We have the elections next month, precisely, to 2 days after my birthday. My birthday is October 24th. 2 days after my birthday, it's October 26th. And because of the multi-party system, the flaw I see in it, yes, the flaw I see in it is that it causes a delay in the representation in the legislative. Shit, man, talking to you is nice, but I gotta go to sleep, says Pillow. Well, Pillow, I am glad, no worries at all. Thank you for the chat, and you have no idea how glad I am that my realism, I am not Catholic, I am an atheist, but my support of cultural Roman Catholicism of Europe, that I said that I didn't like von der Leyen, all of the things in general, that they didn't offend you. You have no idea. It's a huge surprise for me. It's a huge surprise for me. And as I said, no harsh feelings in that sense. No harsh feelings. You said it was a mistake. Cool. Okay, perfect. No harsh feelings. I will take for granted it was a mistake. Then I might then potentially, if it wasn't you, I might potentially then Well, I could leave the comments over at the analysis, but well, if it wasn't you, because I thought it was you, and that's why I left them, maybe I removed the comments. They're of the Sacred 2 analysis because of people getting there. So, because they don't have to deal with my crazy talks. And thank you, bye. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Then, Pillow, be welcome once again to the channel. Alright. Well, see, it's a surprise I didn't expect. Just like I didn't expect yesterday to have my first 2 subscriptions, people, only 1 week later after I hit affiliate. Honestly, I didn't expect it. As I said, we have a majority of Polish. I will have to inaugurate the Dunia, the Dunia. I think I'll have to research the name of the Polish parliament. I think it was like that. Sorry, people, I cannot cover all of history. My brain has a limit. We will. So there's a majority of Polish viewers at 4 here in the channel. In that sense. So yeah. But well, in that sense, I I had 2 huge surprises so far this week. It's been too much for me. It's been too much. Actually, 3 surprises because 2 people actually subscribed 1 week right after hitting affiliate. In that sense, in that sense, in that sense. So, well, it was a week of surprises, people. I don't know if my heart can take anymore. Then someone will tell me here at the chat that I don't know. They are the presidents of the United States or some crazy shit like that, and then I'll get a surprise like that. But pretty much it's enough for my heart for this week. In that sense, we'll return tomorrow with Dragon's Sang Online. I know it's 2 hours and a half. We have an hour and a half to go, people. Okay, I thought I lost track of time. No, we have an hour and a half. We have to finish the Immortal Throne expansion here. Quite amazing game here. In that sense, I have to finish it. We need to access the Embers expansion. But well, quite a lot of pleasant surprises today. Life has today, no, this week has given me one after the other. Well, in that sense, see why I was telling Precise Flying Energy before. You have one question. Ah, Pillow, you're still there. Ah, sorry. I thought you had gone. No worries, Pillow. What would it be? No worries. What would it be? In one sentence, I just remember. In one sentence, yes, Pillow. Opinion of Bolsonaro. Ah, yeah, you asked me about it. Well, yeah, Brazil shares a lot of similarities in that sense in the region with Argentina, and I can tell you that everything that I told you for our situation like of Argentina like some minutes ago, the same applies for Brazil. In one sentence, the same applies for Brazil. They did the same there. It's like this: Soviet Union, then Russia, Cuba. You don't know if you know Cuba. It's a small island that caused a lot of trouble to the U.S. Russia, Cuba, Venezuela. Venezuela infests all of South America with drugs. They free the prisoners, and they create inflation in the economic side of things. It's what they do. They are puppets. They are way too illiterate to do anything else, sadly. It's what they do. They are like the banana republics of the Caribbean. They are puppets of Russia. They don't have their own free will. Bolsonaro was hope for Brazil, just like Milei was for us to finally get free of what I tell you, spending more money than what the total amount of taxpayers can give to the state. Is as simple as that. They also free prisoners and a lot of people die. As I said, to create chaos, because in chaos, when you have to deal with chaos, then you forget about caring about the economy. When you have prisoners killing people on the streets, which is what they do, they are puppets of Russia. They are idiots in that sense. Sorry to say it like this, people, but it's what they do. Okay, but he did the coup. And he did bad. Pillow, you must understand. South America, he did the reform, okay, but you must understand this. You are seeing it from the perspective of liberal democracy, you always think of it like this, because I know you're seeing from the perspective of a European country with a reasonable liberal democracy with socialist tendencies, it doesn't matter, against what you may call far right, or let's say ultra conservatives and etc. Here, guys who speak well, precisely, but you said it yourself, Polish guy. You have zero sociality. Well, perfect. But you say Polish guy, okay? You say Polish guy. Polish guy equals European, correctly. Because of that, at least consider the probability. I'll say it like this: consider the probability that because of being in the European Union, if Comics or anyone else attempted a coup, I'd be pretty pissed. Okay, yes, well, but think of it like this, because this is the key. If you really want to understand the situation of South America, consider that you said Polish guy. You're a Polish guy. Perfect. That alone, the fact that Poland is in the framework of the European Union guarantees that both your left and right side parties are somehow, even if you don't agree with them, somehow reasonable and within a bigger framework of control. Correct? A bigger framework of control. Brazil, Argentina, uh, East, Middle East countries. Well, let's not talk about them. Let's talk about exclusively the Americas, South America and Central America. At half of our border countries, dictatorships. Okay, but Poland itself, Poland itself, it is within the European Union. Belarus, okay, yes, I understand it. But Poland itself, okay, that is true. Poland itself is within the framework of the EU. Argentina, Brazil, Cuba, Venezuela, they don't have the European Union to come and more or less care about what happens inside of these countries if there's a crazy socialist dictator. For us, it's not the social. Then we can talk about it other day whenever you have more time. It, the left I am against here is not the same as the one that you see in Europe. Here it's communism straight from the 70s. Communism straight for the 70s. I agree that presidents shouldn't do coups like you are mentioning about Bolsonaro, etc. But given the options that we have, dang, okay, given the options that we have, which are not the ones in Poland and in the European Union, really anything is better. Bolsonaro, Milei, etc. Anything is better. Anything, even if I disagree, that does make sense. Well, anything is better than these communists from the 70s. Like they are not even communists. They are opportunists. They only care about personal riches. Like I think you mentioned kleptocracy at one point. This is one. Well, pretty much they just care about stealing from like increasing the taxes, causing inflation, and buying dollars. And the difference between the dollar, Argentina has the most dollars in the world, only behind Russia. They buy dollars, and the population gets the local currency. There's inflation, and there's a breach, there's a gap of value, and they get the dollars, and with the difference, like the Haitian dog guy, I don't know about what you're talking about. I don't know about Central America in that sense that much. I'm from Southern America, and I think it's all the same for all Central America and etc. Hey, Harry, no, well, I don't know who that guy is. You know that I know about Roman history and European history and those things. In Argentina, we are more the gangs ruling it. Well, those are prisoners that they free from the prison, so people don't care about the economy. The Slavs country, the slaves country. Like, hey, well, they free the prisoners. It's the same pattern in all of Central America. They free the prisoners, so people don't question about inflation. 90% of the territories can control precisely. They do that so we don't talk about inflation. if the country is intelligent enough, like Argentina and Brazil were, we talk about inflation and we could kick them for the first time in 70 years. In Central America, sadly, this didn't happen because of lack of education, socio-economic circumstances, not embracing the European Christian Roman heritage. Precisely why I defend it so much, that it's quite powerful here in Argentina, contrary to Central America, and it's why we didn't go to shit, contrary to Central America, because of the Roman Catholic heritage. Next year, the ONS will raid and they will establish a protectorate. I don't know, but the situation is like this. In case you're talking to me about, you said Haiti, anything about Central America, especially, and some countries of South America. South America has a bit more of a European tradition of Roman Catholicism, precisely, and that protects us up to some point from being like Central America in that sense. That's why I appreciate it a lot, because those Central American countries, as I've said, they only care about Lula. Okay, I see. Lula, I got a dip. Go, go, go. No problem, no problem. Hope it was enjoyable. Hope it was enjoyable. Epilog. Hope it was enjoyable, and well, you glad you gave me a quite unexpected surprise in that sense. It's basically that. It's death or Milei or Bolsonaro or etc. It's death. It's literally death. Just steal, increase inflation, I get the dollars, you get the local currency, you are poor, I steal everything. Pretty much. It's like that. It's like that. But hope it was useful. And well, as I said, an unexpected surprise. No, well, as you can see, people, I have no problem talking about all of this. The only thing, as I was precisely mentioning, is that I don't like offending people, because I know some of the things I say are harsh. For example, about the social assistance and everything, that creates the inflation and everything. I know they are harsh, but I have my reasons to say them. It's not the framework of laws and regulations of the European Union. That is why. That is why. Sometimes you need to make extreme decisions in life, sadly, even if they are not optimal, but you need to make them. That is why people like Trump, people like Milei or Bolsonaro or whichever come to power, because not all countries have the framework of protection, precisely, of the European Union. So value it. If you have it, value it, people. Value it in that sense. Value it in that sense. So yeah, pretty much. I just hope that not everyone hates me by now with the things that I say. As I said, the main core idea is that I don't say anything with a bad intention. It's always with the purest intention of uh, helping, of providing the most knowledge I can from my life experience in that sense, and also from my great grandpa in that sense regarding the let's say, I think it's a cultural invasion of Europe right now. But yeah, pretty much in that sense. Well, life has given me 3 different surprises this week, people. But you understand, I'm going to drink some water and we'll finish the Immortal Throne expansion, as I said. Well, luckily I fixed the lag. I have to do the subscriber badges, people. I have to do the subscriber badges without a doubt. Sorry, Crowbar, that you subscribed 6 months in advance, and sorry, Access, that you subscribed, that you were the founder subscriber of the channel. Sorry that I didn't have them prepared beforehand, but the truth of the matter is that, you know, I have to teach English, and I have to deal with the software development as well. And well, I know you guys don't know it, but I also help my parents with condo management as lawyer in that sense. So you can see I do several things, and because of that, sorry that I didn't have the subscriber badges prepared, but I will have them prepared for next week. So really, words cannot express my thanks to Crowbar and to Axis for being the first subscribers of the channel in that sense, and everyone in general, who spends even a second watching me in that sense. I'll never forget you in that sense. But as I've said, I have to prepare the subscriber badges, the subscriber emotes, exclusive emotes, and I have to update the schedule of the offline screen that you see when the channel is offline, with the time zones for the channel, in that sense. So yeah, pretty much.
You can't hold anymore.
Pretty much. So I'll prepare all of that during the weekend. You will have your subscriber badges. I will prepare them. I have to prepare 6, one for each month. Don't worry, they will increasingly become better as any person subscribes through the months. So yeah, pretty much. Okay. Don't worry. I have the masks of the Dread Masters of Star Wars: The Old Republic. You'll see how beautiful they are. I will gradually scale them for each month that you are subscribed, because Crowbar precisely he subscribed in advance for 6 months. I think that's unheard of in any channel that kind of like hits affiliate, and right at the next week that happens. I think it's unheard of, people. In that sense, I'm proud, not because of money precisely, but because of the fact that at least this year, 3 people that visited me like 1 year ago remember the channel. It's absolutely incredible. Most channels don't work like that. Imagine streaming Fortnite people with all of the kids, because it's full of kids in that sense, and they spam the emotes and just they don't remember you ever again, and there's no depth to the conversation or anything at all in that sense. There's no depth. Now one thinks it's all brain dead. Bleh, it's like a zombie. I will recall. Oof. We need to do the ultimate 3DS showcase, people. We need to do the ultimate 3DS showcase. But yeah, I wanted to thank anyone who comes back to the channel like more than a year after it. In that sense, Karen, Crowbar, and well, you as well, Pillow, if you're watching it as a bot later. I know that it's quite late in Poland there. We have a domination of Polish viewers, people. We need to create a counter parliament. They have the majority of the vote here. In that sense, no worries. We have District from Romania. We have Patriot from Hungary. We have my friends from Star Wars: The Old Republic from the US. In that sense, we have from all over the world. In that sense, I have a quite good friend from Australia, for example, that I play Star Wars: The Old Republic offline as well. In that sense, I am thankful to life that all of you are all incredible people. And oh, that was fast. Okay. That was a one-hit kill. Nice. Well, not nice for me, nice for the monster that just handed me my ass, but well, no matter. In that sense. So I would have never thought that when I started doing the reviews, in that sense, that so many people from all different backgrounds would all at least appreciate the effort I put into them. I would have never thought it. I thought that the gaming industry was lost to perpetual stupidity. People, sorry for being so pessimistic in that sense, But yeah, given how things were going, I don't know if you remember the domination of Fortnite in 2017, 2018, then the pandemic and everything. It was a bleak perspective in that sense. It was a bleak perspective in that sense. It was a bleak perspective. Because if you think about it, I don't know if you remember 2017, 2018, people, Fortnite was the only shit people would talk about in that sense. Like, there was Gears of War, there was, I can tell you the Lost Planet series, No one ever talks about that one. And for example, we need to do the Ultimate 3DS Showcase, people. The next thing I have to do as an affiliate special, we'll do the Ultimate 3DS Showcase. We'll do that. You have no idea my how my 3DS looks by now. You have no idea. I went beyond anything you can imagine. It's beyond anything. Beyond anything. You might think, like a modded one, like the ones I find on YouTube. No, this one is not like the ones you find over at YouTube. You have no idea. It's not recorded yet. You have no idea. You have no idea, people. The Ultimate 3DS Showcase that I have in store. You have no idea. You have no idea. You have no idea. You have no idea. In that sense, you have no idea how I went beyond anything you can imagine. And I'm not exaggerating. You must be thinking you're exaggerating, sorry for watching this as a YouTube bot. I've heard you say that about the previous showcase that you did. No, this one is beyond anything. Beyond anything you could ever possibly imagine. You could ever possibly imagine. Beyond anything. Here, do I have a fountain? Perfect. Beyond anything. Beyond anything. I have even, just so you have an idea, I managed to reverse engineer. Well, reverse engineer. I managed to create 3D videos. Just to imagine the depth. 3D videos. 3D videos. Um, I managed to create 3D videos like the original developers of Nintendo used to do back in the day. And you must be thinking, what's the point of that, Eraser? Who cares about that shit? And I created like a museum of history inside of the 3DS uh, that shows it's like a museum inside a console. It's difficult to explain. Through videos, it tells you the history of each console, so anyone who finds my 3DS in the future, children, etc., you know that I will have children, people. That's not a matter of question. I will have children in that sense. I hate the situation that the current circumstances in which we are all not encouraged to have children. I want to have at least one children in that sense, be it either with someone or through a laboratory. I don't care that my the thing I care about is having at least one children in that sense. So my in that sense, here I find it, my 3D. That's a one-hit kill. So I created a museum inside the 3DS. Another thing that I did, I managed to adapt Shantae's Risky's Revolution to it. That is a modern GBA release of it, the last game. But not only that, people. I also managed to create the animation of the screen when it works. I managed I did it 100% custom made, like it's unique in the world. Like when I move the cursor of the 3DS, the selector, it makes the sound taken straight from the GBA version of Pokemon Leaf Green and Fire Red. And not only that, the background and everything is custom made, 100%. Okay. I need to survive that initial thing, and then I can kill it. I bet I can kill it. You think that I cannot kill it, people? But I can kill it if I survive the initial assault. It's the Cerberus, the Hound of Hades, the Guardian of the Underworld. Okay. I need to survive that initial attack, so... Let me the problem is that I have to reclaim my experience here. Here we go. We survived the initial attack. Would you look at that? There we go. Just stay here. Stay here. Stay here. Stay here. That's it. That's it. Nice little doggy. Just touch. No, no. Okay, 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 okay. He has a fire death breath there that kills you in one blow as well. Okay, okay. Don't worry, people. It's been 10 years. I need to learn the gameplay mechanics again. The gameplay mechanics. I need to learn the boss mechanics in this case again. People, in that sense. I need to learn them again. That's way too brutal. It's a one-hit kill. He's at level 67. He's 10 levels above me. Here, this corner, this corner. Alright, 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 alright. He has a third attack that creates that. Okay, okay, so he has 2 attacks. One is the fire breath, then he has that. Okay, I need to move even more. But I bet we can do it. Don't worry, people. I got it more under control than what it looks like. But yeah, the 3DS, we need to do the ultimate 3DS showcase as an affiliate special. There, that one. One attack. The second one. The third one. There we go. And now we can attack. There we go. Nice dodge there. Well, see here, this one, this corner. I like this corner. I like this corner. This is unavoidable. That was unavoidable, pretty much. That was unavoidable, pretty much. Okay, okay. I'm improving. I'm improving. I'm improving, people. Let me see if I can have a bit more of health. No, I'm at the highest possible. I should change the. Hang on a second. I should change the bracers. There. This one. This one. Change them for a sec because it has more total health. That'll help me survive the hit. Maybe. Maybe it's 10 levels above me. Still, it's crazy. Don't do this at home. People, farm a bit before trying your hand at the boss. But well, I don't have no patience. Sorry. There, I survived one of the attacks. Okay. Okay, I have no room. It's a hard counter against my build. I have no room. I'll need more potions. I'm killing this shit today. Then we can deal with the rest. In that sense. In that sense. Then we can deal with the rest. Then we can deal with the rest. No worries, no worries, no worries, people. We got this. We got this. If I could... He takes a lot of damage. He doesn't have a lot of defense. It's pure damage. It's pure damage, no defense. I bet I can... And I am pure damage as well. It's like the War of the Glass Cannons. So I was telling you, I have a museum inside the 3DS with videos about the whole history of Nintendo and everything. I'll show it to you all. So you can see it that day. We need to do a special. Move it. Oh, trapped. Trapped, trapped, trapped. There we go. Nice. We're in the loop. Shit. That should do it. Okay. Little doggy. Die. Once and for all. No. So much poison damage. But I took 20% of the health. Eraser, what's the point of doing this like this? Isn't it better to just, you know, farm a bit and do it like normally? No, I want to access the Embers expansion. And for that I need to get through this difficulty. I don't care how nor why. Then I'll have time to farm. Anyways, I'm recovering my experience, as you can see. No! Come on, come on, deal all the damage. Survive that, survive, 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 survive. No, 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 no. Yes, there we go. Go, good, 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 good. It's only 1 second that you have to dodge it. Maybe close to the door there. Poison is a lot of poison damage. It's a lot of poison damage. How do I avoid this shit? Here, I like this zone. Let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. We got it, we got it, we got it, we got it, people, we got it, we got it. Now we escape here. Now the balls here. Now we run. Now we can, whoosh. Give yourself a bit of space here. Okay. Let's stay out of range. That one. Good. Die now. Once and for all. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go for the kill. Let's go for the kill. No, no. Way too fast. Way too fast. Way too fast. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Ah, it has a delay until it hits. Come on. It's my chance. What? My god. There we go. Let's take it. Shit. I took the full attack there. No, 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 no. There we go. There we go. There we go. You need to predict the attacks a lot. Got it! The poison did its job. See, you are not the only one with poison, you pesky dog. There. That was good. Oof. Oof. That was a lot. That was a lot, people. That was definitely a lot. That was definitely a lot.
You can't hold anymore.
That was definitely a lot. My god. Oof. Oof.
You can't carry anymore. You can't hold anymore.
Oof. That was a lot. Shit. That Cerberus dog was a lot. Quite good. Quite good. Whoa. Quite good. Quite good. In that sense. Oof. Oof, people. Lamellar leggings. I wanted to loot those. Let's see. Oof. That was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. I am deeply proud of my build, people. I'm deeply proud of my build. I'm deeply proud of my build. I'm deeply proud of my build. We'll take a bit of a break. Give me a bit of a break. I need to use the bathroom a second. It will be just one small second. Give me a sec. I'm back, people. I'm back. Sorry for that. Sorry for that. If I'm back. Sorry for that, people. It was a quite good boss fight in that sense. Quite good boss fight, people. Quite good boss fight in that sense. Quite good boss fight. Quite good boss fight. I was saying I'm proud. I'm quite proud that my that my that my that my build could beat a monster, a boss 10 levels above me. 10 levels above me. That I could beat a boss 10 levels above me, in that sense. 10 levels above me, in that sense.
Greetings, great warrior. Greetings, slayer of titans.
How are you now, District? Sorry before. I was just having a conversation with that person. So deeply sorry that I had to cut whatever you were about to tell me about the news. What are the news? Please tell me that the situation precisely in Poland didn't escalate with the drones. That I saw that were a problem yesterday. Please tell me that it didn't escalate. It's just that because I don't know why when I stream I don't check the news. I'm okay. Which were the news that you were about to tell? Please don't tell me that Russia attacked Poland. Just please tell me that didn't happen. Please, we don't need any more shit in the world. Please tell me that didn't happen. How are you now? I had to deal with. I have to talk to that follower personal things with him. Someone in the United States got shot. Please tell me it's not Donald Trump or someone like that could cause World War III because of how you said it. Because of how you said it, it was grave. So
Thank you
no
for
more
hearing
shit,
us,
please, world.
World of
No more
Warcraft.
shit. What is it,
When the
District?
rest of the Olympians left,
Charlie
Hades heard the
Kirk
call
by
of
Sniper
great
is the
Satan.
one that Pillow was
He came
precisely
forth from
mentioning.
his prison. We were the lucky
Sorry,
ones.
I
The hero of
don't know
Elysium had
who
this
the
moment
person
fighting his
is.
army.
I declare
We had no
myself
hope of
ignorant.
victory,
Sorry,
but
I
they fought
studied
on.
history of Europe.
They awaited him,
Yes,
although the
okay,
overseer could
okay.
decide
Was
that a
he
living
a
hero would save
Democrat,
us
a
all. We
Republican?
judge you worthy.
Was he
Yours the
important?
slayer
What
of
was
destiny.
his? Why is it?
Go to
Why
Elysium
was he
and conquer.
important
Just
beyond, of
remember,
course, a human
reach
life
them.
being lost, of course,
The path
by
is not blood.
default. But like, what is it? I had to deal with a quite tough boss here some seconds ago. I'm sorry, as I said, sorry that I cut you, but I had to be honest. You also have no idea who it is. Okay. So, well, good that it's not, but he's a popular ship. Well, but at least it's not World War III with Russia attacking Poland. Well, at least it's not that shit. District, I always first of all, as I said, deeply sorry, District, that I cut you before. That I had to have a personal talk with that specific person, District. But you understand how it is precisely. I need to have. Yeah, it's scary the things with Rochample. District, I have to ask you in that sense. Sorry that I once again talk about not video games. If you like, we can talk about video games, no problem. Aren't you like afraid? I ask this to Polish viewers as well. Aren't you afraid, like being so close to the border there, that things might get out of control? In that sense, and you end up like being like drafted like the Ukrainians. In that sense, I would be. I've said it on stream several times. I would be scared the shit out to be there in Poland like them for that they are brave souls, but you as well. Like, yes, you are afraid. Well, like that. I would at least try to move to
Titans
the
reign
western
forever.
zone of it, but still I would
What
get
I
out of
have
the country.
foreseen has come to
In that
pass. My
sense, but yeah,
crystal
it's
is big
it's
as the
it's
sill.
it's a mess.
I
It's a
have one
mess.
more
It's a
prophecy
mess.
to speak.
But yeah,
Make it quick,
in that sense, that's why I admire you all because
only living blood can crack the gate.
in that sense,
Only living
you
flesh
you,
can
you are
unlock
in a
the
zone
mysteries. Only living hands can free the breath of spring.
that the countries are extremely beautiful. The countries are extremely beautiful. I don't know if anyone has been to the Balkans or Poland. Those there, yes, a danger zone, danger. Okay, like in the eastern section of it, in that sense. Okay, I get it. Like close to the capital because the capital Budapest is to the east precisely, and I presume the economic center of activity is close to there. So district in that sense, yeah. Yeah. It's. I would also be scared the shit out of it. Yes, I love. You basically live in the capital. Yeah. Around that's a problem. That Budapest and all of the economic center of the country is like to the east in that sense. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. In my case, well, I'm telling you that because in the case I didn't live it, but my great grandpa lived it. He was at the northern section of Italy. I always mention, and well, the Syrian one. I told it some minutes ago. It was a mess. They sent him to the front line. But the Italian ones in World War II, as I said, they were like in the hottest spot, like at the north, where the dictator was trying to escape, and he had to come here. So in that sense, you are all uh, incredibly brave in that sense that you even live there. I would. And what happened to him? My Syrian one or my Italian one? You mean the Italian one, World War II? He managed to come here to the port of Argentina, and basically that's it. The Italian one, he escaped. He escaped before he could be killed. He escaped from a little zone in Italy that is precisely my legal residence now. Precisely, he died uh, precisely September 9th, yesterday, but here in Argentina. He then became Argentine, and he didn't lose the Italian citizenship. That's why I could get it back then, back again. But the idea is that he escaped here and he could survive. And well, while Argentina has been economically unstable, it is true that at least we are so far away from everything that at least that thing. That's why I get you. I would be scared. It would scare the shit out of me. It would scare the shit out of me as well, being close to 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 the politica to the attacks of Russia in that sense. He escaped here and he could form a family, and that's where my Italian grandpa was born, and then my father, and then me. It was and the same for the Syrian one. They could escape here. They could escape here, but it was economically unstable in that sense. For me, for them, like in the generations to come. I would have said, well, it's a lack of respect, but looking back, I would say that he should have entered Switzerland in that sense because he was in a small. You see that Switzerland has a cone to the south. Well, he was right right below it. He was in the frontier. He would have just need to go up there, and he would have entered Switzerland. But yeah, during World War II, but that was difficult. They wouldn't let anyone enter in that sense. You should have done that. But yeah, I cannot judge him. I am an ungrateful little piece of crap if I did that. Never. But why do you think Russia will attack Poland? No, I don't think it will happen. I don't think. I just say that I will. I think the drones were a mistake. Yeah. I think the same as you do. What I say is that the overall situation for everyone like you or them living in Poland, living normal lives, the only fact of the situation alone disturbs your everyday life. Don't know if that's pretty much the meaning. It disturbs pretty much your everyday life, and I would be scared. It would scare the shit out of me. No, I think that Russia won't go. It's not going to go that far, but I would still be disturbed in my everyday life because of if there's a mistake. You know what I mean? The psychopath launches a missile and oh, mistake, the drone was shot in the wrong position and oh, it fell on my house. It fell on my house. Oh, and who's going to pay for this or even kill me? And like that. I would be afraid of the mistake. Of the mistake. Like being because of being close to it in that sense. In that sense. No, I don't think it will happen. Ah, okay. Like carrying on a normal life, like with that in the back of your head, like the mistake. Oh, it destroyed my house. The missile. Oh, but it wasn't meant as an attack. Precisely, it wasn't meant as an attack. It's all good. We are at peace. Ah, yeah, but my house was just destroyed. Who's gonna pay for it? The government? He's gonna pay for it. I know the government not gonna pay for it or whatever, or even, well, let's not even think about the tragedy that it damages the person living inside the house, that it hurts the person living inside the house as an injury in that sense. So they shot an important politician of the US. Well, I'll be honest with you, I will have to read about him now that the news are out. So pretty much I'll have to read about him because I don't know who he is, but well, looks like an internal. Yeah, it's everywhere, but it looks more like an internal affair of the US in that sense. I don't know if he's conservative or liberal or socialist or whatever, but it will be interesting. I don't know. He was like a Trump ally. Okay. Got it. Okay, he was like a MAGA guy. Like a, okay, like a Trumper. Okay. Get it. I get it. Like, and it could be interpreted as a vengeance for the things that Israel is doing in Middle East. I can picture the context, like a vengeance for all of the US also bombarded that they were about to create the atomic bomb or whatever there in Middle East. Okay, and this is seen like a vengeance. Okay. I see how more or less for what you are telling me what it is. As I said, sorry that before I catch you, it was like a personal thing I had to discuss with the viewer. Precisely. Life gave me 3 different surprises this week. I don't know if my heart can take anymore regarding the streaming. It gave me three surprises this week. So yeah, this one was the last I would expect. Oh well. Anyway. The guy was on roof with a sniper rifle. Okay. Kennedy style then. It was a John Kennedy style kill then. Okay, like when they killed Kennedy, that he was in the car with the sniper and everything. Okay, yeah, that's the thing. If it makes one rethink if we want free weapons for the population or not. The last thing I had seen is the one about Nepal district, that they did kind of like a popular revolt in which they overthrew the dictator. That when I saw it. Well, it will be interesting the international repercussion of what you are mentioning in that sense, because if it was a Trump ally, this could be seen as a vengeance from Middle East against all of the bombardments that Trump and Israel have been doing in that sense. So it will be interesting how Trump will react in a context that could be like damaging his image that he's trying to give, like as the one that will finally put order to the climate that Obama initiated back in 2008, if you ask me my humble 2 cents an opinion. Hassan V on 200k viewers probably instead of followers. Viewers, yes. Well, Wolf, no district. You want to talk about that guy? I talked about him on stream. I talked about him on stream. Have you seen that guy? I don't know if you like him or not. For me, that guy, the one that you are mentioning, is what do you think about him first? Before I say anything. Uh, I don't know what you think about him. Uh, he do politics. He have 20k viewers now because of the Charlie Kill. Yeah, I get that. But I would never watch that person. It's that
I have another messenger.
I can't. I think it's the worst. The worst possible. The worst possible I've seen. I would never import myself with. I don't watch him. Okay. Well, for me, it's an absolute best. That person said, but I know him well. That person said that the attack on the Twin Towers was justified. that the US deserved it. Talking from the comfort of the US. Lol, yeah, well. But you can see, I think it's the best and the worst, most illiterate individual I've seen streaming in my life. The worst. The worst. From the comfort of the US, he said that, lol, well, district. I don't know if I should, back when I heard that, if it should be a tragedy or a comic book that I watched it because of the same reasons as you. A lot of viewers, bots, the Democrat Party, paying bots. Sorry, it's just that I'm not an idiot. Maybe I'm not an idiot. Maybe a lot of people think I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm not an idiot. I'll just leave it as a random probability of a life. Bots by the Democrat Party. I don't know. But regardless of it, saying that the United States deserve that from the comfort, being a communist, from the comfort of the United States, honestly, if you want to create a script for a movie like that, you cannot create it, people. I'm sorry, you cannot create it. I cannot create it. You cannot create it. I know that I'm a terrible conservative and all of that for anyone who isn't reasonable enough as to listen to me for more than 5 minutes. I'm sorry, but saying that, well, this you directly laughed because it's a joke. Besides, it's like shitting on the face of anyone with a brain. I'm sorry. I have to say it like that. There's no other way to say it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if they are harsh words or whatever. Yeah, he's saying many bad stuff. I know. No, he has said worse things. That person. I even said that he should be in jail. I'm sorry. I said he should be in jail directly. I'm sorry. Saying that I just mentioned. He's always on Reddit. Well, Reddit is an echo chamber of liberals. I know, for example, I had to use it to promote some streams back then. It didn't work for shit as well. It didn't work at all. You and Flying Energies did more for my channel than all of Reddit in that sense. So it also doesn't work. So I promoted some streams there. And pretty much, I have to ask that to viewers how they got to know my streams. It was just browsing, or because of the few posts that I did there. It's a liberal echo chamber. Reddit. It's controlled by liberal media 100%. It's the Democrat Party. It's the arm of the Democrat Party. In that sense, it's useful for a lot of information about knowledge about video games. It is true. But then, the second you touch the politics section of it, district, you get people like that. I would ask that person how many of those books that I just showed you, like I could use as a lethal weapon, that book that I showed you at the beginning of the stream. How many of those he read? Because I am under the impression that most of those politics. You know which one for example, I like that is more or less reasonable? The podcast of the Lotus Eaters. They are British. Oh, Hassan read like zero books. He only read Twitter XE. Well, that's precisely the problem. That's the problem. You even recognize it. In that sense. I think that the people who talk about politics nowadays are not qualified at all. Am I saying that I am qualified? I don't know, but I know one thing. I spent 5 years only reading books locked up. Only that. I don't know if that qualifies for modern standards. I don't give a shit if it does for most of the population, but I went through the process. At least. I know the difference between, for example, the person, one of the problems that I was always mentioning. A lot of them don't understand the difference between a parliamentary monarchy. They wouldn't be able to tell me the differences between a parliamentary democracy and a tyranny. For example, basic things. This is basic, people. It's like a political one. You deserve more viewers, but it would be bad also. The politics are scary, he says, district. The viewer, I need to give you that beep badge so the word viewers stops being held, or I can allow it, because before I could allow them somehow. Now they directly expire. I think I did it so extreme so I couldn't allow it. I have to revert that. You deserve more viewers, says District. But yeah, it's because people spamming. It's because of the bots. The bots, yeah. But it would be bad also. These politic viewers are scary in that sense. Yes, yes, I get it, District. I get it. I get it. Uh, because how am I? This is a problem, District. You see that I logically argument and everything. How can I logically argument with people that don't listen? And a lot of them don't listen. They don't listen. They are illiterates. Sorry, they are illiterates. You can not read a book in your life, but at least have a bit of consciousness. These people have not read a book in their lives, and they give their shitty opinions like freely. You see how much I justify every single step, every single opinion I give. That's the thing. And well, you make me blush about the viewers and etc. I have the people I need to have around me. You, for example, the other day, this is their based on reading online. This is their opinion. Well, that's the problem. If you read everything from the web and not books, then your only source of information is already other people, not authors that, for example, had a direct contact with the facts in that sense. Instead, book authors, in a lot of cases, they had a direct contact with things. For example, I admire, precisely, everything reverts back to Poland. As a modern philosopher, I loved reading... I don't remember, it was a Polish name. It was a quite weird Polish name. It was the father of the modern incarnation of this. I read so many. My head has been made jelly at that point. Sigmund Bauman, Polish philosopher, etc. He lived World War II. He lived World War II. He lived under communism and Nazism. Sigmund Bauman. He lived under them. Unfortunately, he lived up to 95, I think 98, and we could have him up until some years ago. He lived under that. These people don't live, don't read the books of the people who lived, don't care about giving a shit about the opinion of those of us who read the books of those who lived. They will be like that. I'm curious about you. You're curious about YouTube viewers when they will watch TitanQuest gameplay and they see you discuss about politics XD. They will be like, "What the?" No, because as I told you, District, they need to be here because of me, not only the gameplay. If they like the gameplay, what else could I ask for? If you like how I play, with a complex build and everything, but they need to at least enjoy listening to my voice, to me. They need to enjoy listening to me in that sense. And if in that sense they come only for the game and they don't give a shit, but you really have to do a politics stream again, says District. You would love it, but you have a lot to talk about. You'd like a Polybat District, it would be way too much. I can talk as I play the games. Besides, if it's only me talking without the gameplay, it also gets boring, eh? Be careful with that. It can also get boring, just me talking without the gameplay. The gameplay, at least, has something in the background going on for me to distract as I talk. In that sense, it is true that I could go much more in depth if I kind of like concentrated, like without any gameplay. But I can handle it. In that sense, as I said, need to come because they like me. No, not the gameplay. If they like the gameplay, alright. For example, this viewer that you just saw, Pillow, he had visited me 1 year ago, and I was playing Spellforce. Oh, it's not boring. Look, Hassan B got to 200k people and he watches Twitter. Well, in that sense. But at least there's something going on in the background. Yeah, we can if I'm not going to. Most of my people over at Discord have already told me that they don't care. Maybe I don't think Pekarin cares. But he hasn't said anything. For example, but for the rest, I think they've all said that they don't. Honestly, they are okay with it, and they are not precisely as conservative as I am. I think no one here is. You know that I love the United Kingdom in that sense. But you know what district? I got a better idea. I should the ideal situation district. I should go to I should go visit Europe since I have the Italian citizenship. I can stay at any country and invite you all to a drink. And there in the bar, I can. Yeah, the extra day is tomorrow, which isn't. By the way, I feel bad you had one extra day of streaming with Dragons and Online because I said you should do it. No, 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 you are not the Angel District. You are so kind. No, not at all, not at all, not at all, District. No, if no, not at all, not at all, not at all, District. No, no, no. If you enjoy watching it, you enjoy watching it. You know that Flying Energies also enjoys watching it. The Polish viewers and they enjoy watching it, then I have no problem. If I had a problem, I would have told you. Don't feel bad, District. No, no, I should be the one thankful to you because even if I love what I do here and everything, it is true that sometimes my game selection is like that. No, no worries. If I want to really play a different game than what you suggest, don't worry. I will tell you and no problem about it. No, no problem. No, 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 no. I enjoy giving to you what you like watching. You enjoy it. That's the point. Because I know this streaming thing, you will get burned out fast. All right, District. So you wait. What you say? You stream as well? I didn't follow you back. You didn't. You never told me you streamed. You stream. You know it because you stream. Takes a lot of energy. Okay, District. Okay, and I agree with that. It is true. It is true. It is true. But as I told you, first of all, why you tell it to me? You used to stream. Okay. Okay, and you ended up getting burned out. That's what happened to you. You are telling it to me because it happened to you. Okay. Okay. Okay, more or less I get the situation. Okay. But I not only stream while I doing this, I'm practicing my English. Believe it or not. Have you watched my English at the beginning of my first streams? Even as I had already sat by then for the certificate in advanced English. Nope, nope. Yes, you used to stream because you're telling me because of that, and you haven't watched it. Well, if you watch them, my very first videos of the channel, you go to YouTube, you order by date, oldest. You will see that my English had nothing to do with the quality that you see nowadays. And I had all of my certification. I had already sat for the certificate in advanced English. In that sense. So, not only that, I practice my English. Second, I'll tell you this. I think you are the first person who has ever heard this from my mouth. Besides, I told it to Crowbar, another British follower from last year from Sacred 2. I told him over at Discord. Honestly, I thought, District, several times about stop doing it. In 4 years, in which my best streams, I was telling it earlier, my best content District, that I even edited and everything, my best content is the least watched of the channel, is the least watched of it. My best content, for example, killing Chromarax the Invincible in Borderlands, it doesn't matter if you don't know the game, in a sense you won't feel the connection if you haven't played the game. I basically soloed a raid boss, a 4-man raid boss, on my own. Chromarax the Invincible. I also did the impossible, let's say, beating an ultra powerful boss in another game called Hellgate London. My best content, gameplay wise, is the least watched of my channel. But I'm saying, if you feel like you are out of energy and stuff, you can take a break on the extra Drakensang online day. No, District. The only question here is, you told me that day, you told it to me that day because you enjoyed it, and are you willing to watch it live or as a VOD? Would you watch it? If one person would watch it, then it's worth being created. In that sense, I spent not to anyone. Yes, you watch. You watch them. It's all I could ask for. It's all I could ask for. That alone is more than 99, not 99, 80 roughly, let's say, percent of all stream. But if I miss it, you watch it on YouTube. Well, then you watch it over at YouTube. No worries. But your intention is to watch it. You like it. Watching there helps you more. Technically no, because it's not even monetized YouTube for me. Only Twitch. Technically no, and Twitch now is a bit more monetized. On YouTube, what it helps is the, I think it's the thumbs up or that thing, and leaving comments or those things. But in that sense, yes, it also helps over at YouTube, of course. If you think it is better, it's more comfortable for you over at YouTube, no problem at all as well. I think. But in that sense, no, District. That's why it can. As I was telling to Flying Energies, the problem is that precisely Flying Energies have new, let's say, success. If you're watching Flying Energies as a bot, you knew success maybe extremely fast in 1 year. In that sense, in my case, I stream variety. I took a long way road that only nowadays I'm seeing. But for example, District. For example, I was thinking the other day that a viewer that I had from 1 year ago from Sacred 2 Crowbar, he subbed to the channel 6 months in advance, like 6 months continuously. Uh, because of I cannot let down the people who believed in me when no one else did, in that sense. So if you like that, surprise face. If you like the streams, that's why you told me to play it. I will do one more day of Drakensang online. Then maybe I can change it to another game once I feel it has fulfilled the cycle, like I told you I did, like I tell you I do. But getting burned out from this, I know it must be quite weird for you because if you stream and you tried and that happened to you, it's perfectly understandable. But in my case, coming from reading those books to playing a video game, the thing is that it honestly, even if no one watched me for 4 years, I don't feel a thing. I don't feel a thing in that sense. It may sound like a bit cold, because at the end of the day, if no one watches you, you feel terrible. I would feel a bit bad, of course, when people unfollow. But for example, this person that you just saw, District, Pillow, he had unfollowed the channel. I thought there was a misunderstanding, I guess, about politics and philosophy, etc. And every time I said I was getting burned out of the. This is what happened to me, District. I'll tell you my experience. You'll get it why. You'll get it why. When I started streaming, I got roughly 1 follower per month. Playing the old school RTS games, you have down here 1 follower per month. 1 follower per month. That was my pacing, let's say. Playing, the thing is that I was playing such. I knew so much about video games, I guess, that I played extremely obscure ones. That it was simply the category 1 follower per month. And every time I wanted to quit, by the time I got tired by the end of the month, I have to say it, one person followed the channel always. By the end of the month, it was constant for the first 2 years. When I thought about quitting, one person would follow, and that was enough for me to not feel that like that. Eventually, as I played a different genre that wasn't real-time strategy, things like Armies of Exigo or Spellforce, you could see, and now one watches Spellforce or anything. Uh, some of those, besides following, they talked in chat. There was always at least one person. All of the ones that you see here in this Hall of Fame, they are there for a reason. That when I was about to say, well, this is it, they don't care about this shit. I was also had a pessimistic idea about the gaming industry, that it was lost to Fortnite, to stupidity, and because I knew it was a category, and I honestly didn't care. I wanted it to be with variety and old school games. There was always one person that proved me wrong at the end of each month. Uh, every single month, when I say, well, this is it, no one followed this month, it's evident this is pointless. At the end of the month, one person would follow. One person would follow. In the second year, one person would talk. Would talk. In that sense, that's why I'm telling Flying Energies to not be discouraged. The thing is that he knew success way too fast. In that sense, 85% of Twitch streams alone, not even the real life friends show up. Like I could just grab the cell phone district, tell all of my Argentine friends from law school, my IRL friends, I do have, and tell them to support. And I also chose not to do that. I chose not to do that. Not a single relative or friend of mine has the direction of this channel. I wanted it to be genuine, and I assumed the responsibility of that. And when I said, well, I assume that responsibility, and the consequence of that is that no one watches me, because you need at least a minimum amount of viewers to, like, get above it. To be honest, I didn't agree with Flying Energy's decision to quit, with quitting Drakensang Online without a plan. Okay, well, I see the problem that he was mentioning before. He quit and now he wants to stream but don't have anything to plan. Well, as I was mentioning to him and to you, that you also mentioned that you tried, so he don't stream. Okay, and you don't stream anymore, and you feel bad because you see that he may end up the same as precisely you, that you felt discouraged by it. Okay, I get you, that you care for your friend, and it's absolutely noble from your part. It's absolutely noble from your part, precisely. In that sense, he mentioned the community though, an extra component. He mentioned the community in that sense as well. That he didn't like the community. I don't know why. In that sense, I don't have the expertise, the knowledge of the Dragon's Sang Online community, because so far they've all been kind to me so far. Yes, it is true that, for example, maybe one could interpret that Patrick and I, we are conservatives, and if you are not conservative in that sense, a more liberal streamer would feel offended by him. But well, in that sense, there's just not much I could do if it's related to that, because he mentioned something of the community, something like that, that he feels bad about streaming. He will understand. He will understand that precisely the games are means to an end for the streamer. The people that supported me, as I've said, besides all of you from Drakensang, and you included as well, but some of them, the one who subscribed 6 months in advance, was from an old game, is Sacred 2, from 1 year ago. He didn't stick around uh, because of the game that I was playing, because he liked the game. It was because of me at the end of the day, and the same will happen to him. The ones that love him will do that without a doubt. The game is a means to an end, in that sense. As I've said, Flying Energies, if you are watching, is the thing. You told me it was 1 year. That's a way too fast success. It's what happens when you stream a single game. It's natural. The community of that game loves you, but then not all of them are like that will follow you in that sense. That's why streaming, for example, variety, different games, will ensure that you make sure that the ones that stay is for you and not because of the game. Yes, District. Well, I get your feeling, District, and you are a very good friend to him in that sense. You're a very good friend to him, and it's absolutely noble, uh, in that sense. In that sense, I get your feeling. For example, this beer I'm mentioning to you, he also used to stream, and and as I've said, he also understands me just like you understand flying energies. Uh, in that sense, I've had a lot of people that have told me that they also were streamers and they stopped. In that sense, I may stream, alright, District, then I'll follow you back. I didn't know all of this. I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. In that sense, now some things make sense as to why you on Dragon's Anniversary. I promise I will tell stream. I get the weapons. I will stream until I get the weapon. All right. In that sense, District, uh, it's like that. Uh, when you, it's that I can tell you, I stayed for 4 years, and there was always one person that encouraged me to keep going. There was always one person, because it drops best weapon, and he's MG, and he's MG. So, I don't know what MG is, but in that sense, I'm terrible with acronyms. In that sense, District, random numeric generator. Okay, it's RNG. Okay, it's RNG. Okay. It's random drop. In that sense, District, without a doubt, as I said, uh, it's like that. I There was always a person that encouraged me to keep going. In that sense, there was always a person that encouraged me to keep going. With a follow was enough. In that sense, or by chatting even in the chat. And I know it's not enough to like build a career on top of it, but it was enough to keep me going. It was enough to keep me going. I tried to get the weapon for 3 years and I didn't get it. I have 1,000 total attempts to get it in those 3 years. Well, I can also comfort you in that. This is what I mentioned to Fly Energy at the beginning. People talk about their successes, they never talk about their failures. That's why I like talking about my failures, because you can see the successes. In Star Wars Your Republic, I could never form a raid group to get my Wings of the Architect. I could never complete my armor. 4? You said 3 years. In my case it's 10 years. I still don't have them. The Wings of the Architect. I could never finish my armor. Because I need a raid group on Master difficulty. Whoa, well, yeah, it's like World of Warcraft precisely. I know it's an expression instead, but it's like in World of Warcraft. 10 years. I could never get a tank for it. I have a healer. I have some friends. I'm close to getting it. But still, I don't know if the raid would work or anything. And in 10 years, I didn't get it. It's not because of the random drop. It's because I couldn't never form a group. For example, I'm lacking a tank. You need 8 people. I have the DPS and I have the healers. And I don't have it. And, well, what are you gonna do? The wings don't make my quality at PvP. At the end of the day, I would love to have them. They are just aesthetic. They don't affect my stats. But they complete the armor of a Dreadmaster, and I could never get it. But 10 years, and I didn't let it prevent me. I didn't let that prevent me from going back to the game and showcasing, and got some good friends from the streams of Star Wars Your Republic, from beating Master Mode Knights of the Fallen Empire. It's basically the hardest difficulty. It's basically absolutely crazy doing it. This is what I tell you. My best streams, the ones in which I do hardcore gameplay, are the least watched in that sense of the channel. The most watched ones are the ones in which I precisely open my mouth and I am myself in that sense. Now, it is true. For example, Patrick said that I am very intellectual and everything. Yeah, well, I could say that I read a lot of books. I stayed up, locked up in the library of law school for a lot of time. Yes, I am, let's say, culturally armed, but there's a lot of audience that does not look for that. That, for example, when I start talking, as I said, it's way too much. for them. And there, just like there's people like that don't like a more, let's say, academic oriented, I guess. I feel bad saying it like that. Stream, they will watch the other millions of streamers that are also much more successful than me. Think about it like that. Think about it like that. But I do what I'm good at. In that sense. Being myself implies talking about all of the philosophy and all of the things that people may not hear frequently. Would say. But no, I didn't want to skip this. That But I'm saying, if you feel like you're out of energy and stuff, you can take a break on the extra Dark and Sang Online day and I watch. But if I video on YouTube, I appreciate you a lot for caring about that in that sense. No, I have to make the subscriber badges. I have to make the subscriber badges for Crowbar and for Access. I have to make them. I have to make 6 of them, up to 6 months, because Crowbar subscribed for 6 months precisely in advance. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't prepared. I declare myself ignorant. He already told me I don't care, man, over at Discord. But still, I will do so. So, in that sense, um, in that sense, I appreciate having you as well as a friend, a district like that you care about my well-being so much as to tell me about that because of adding the extra Dragon Sang Day. If I added it, trust me, it's not only because you said it, but because I know that I enjoy doing it. Smile. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. No, it's like that, district. You know that, as I told you. Um, I had to deal with exams in front of 120 people. If I do the game requests, it's not only because I enjoy giving to you that you love watching me. That's the thing. It goes beyond your request. It is because I know you love watching me, and for me that's a blessing that I don't take lightly. In that sense, if I ever feel like Drakensang, I'm done with the analysis, I will finish and proceed with the next game. For example, you mentioned to me Diablo Immortal. Okay, eventually I will play that one. But if you ask me for the game, it's because you enjoyed watching me play it, not because you enjoy the game itself. It's because you enjoyed watching me play it and do the crazy analysis. And the second I understand that, I feel grateful. In that sense. I think you will have a lot to talk about that. Next game, Diablo Immortal. Okay, no worries. Besides, I can, with the third day, I can even diversify it. I can even do one day. I was going to offer you precisely a day of Diablo Immortal instead of Drakensang Online. Precisely. And, indeed, once I'm done with the analysis of it, I'll proceed with the next one. Besides, even more than now, it's a huge responsibility. I had 2 people subscribe in my first week after being affiliate. It's a responsibility for Army people, and I dealt with much bigger things. As I told you, I need to show you. I'm okay. Oh, for sure you can do that. I'm okay with it. Okay, but you like Drakensang more. If you like Drakensang more, I will keep Drakensang. No worries. No worries. Besides, I will need to set it up. Anyways, I will need to set everything up, and etc. So there will be like a transition period between one analysis and the other. No, I was precisely telling District, consider reading those books for 5 years. I was burned out before streaming. I was really exhausted from that. I needed a good rest, and you all provided to me doing this. I had to sit for exams in front of 120 people, and as I said, I'm an introverted individual and I would suffer doing these things. I like Drakensang more. You may finish it very fast. In max 1 month. Oh, that's a change of prediction, because I remember that some weeks ago you were worried that I wouldn't finish it, District. I remember you were worried that I wouldn't finish it. You said, I don't know if you will be able to finish it. Like, now you say, I think you will finish it way too fast. I think you will finish it way too fast. Yeah, we didn't count that some people will help me farm as well. Yeah, you're already in the Great Desert. You have 2 more continents, and that's it. Okay, I'm done with the story. Okay. Once I'm done with the story district, we'll do this. Once I'm done with the story, I will leave 1 day of Dragonsang for the rest of the story that they may want to do, for the things that any other person would love to show me, Ambra or Axis or anyone. I will leave 1 day for a while. I'll leave 1 day for a while, and the other 2 will be for the rest of the reviews. That way, we will have a lot of variety. 3 days, a different game per day. But when you finish the story, I suggest you don't play anymore. No, why this trick? Why you say that? Why you say that? If anyone else enjoys it, maybe you said that there was another story. It's just endgame farming simulator. Okay. Okay, but I can do dungeons with them. For example, some 1 or 2 dungeons with them. With Ambra, with Patrick, etc. Like just with friends for the sake of fun, not for farming the weapons. Can I do some group dungeons? Of course, yeah, you can for sure. Of course. Okay, well, if I have the probability of doing the dungeons once I'm level 100, you enjoy watching it. You would enjoy watching it. If you would enjoy watching it, and they would enjoy watching it, I can keep a day after the final analysis. Of course, first the final analysis. Is 1 shot after 1 shot. Dungeons last 1 minute. Even on the highest difficulty. Okay, okay. I got the point of what you say. Okay, okay. I'll see how I can. I've tamed worst things. If you don't mind me saying it, in that sense, it can be done, so it's enjoyable. Because at the end of the day, most of you would have probably thought that playing the story, you saw how these players killing everything in Path of Exile and Diablo 4. Yes, what I always mention about is the same with Dragons. And okay, so it broke the paradigm of min-maxing in the framework of the stat system that stupidity that I always mention. Right, district, let's say it like that. That stupid thing, silly thing that I always mention. That you kill things so fast as for the player to not care about devising a defensive strategy. Is that what I always mention in my crazy theory? It has the paradigm of min-maxing broken. Alright, then I will have an amazing time bashing it, if that is the case. Stats are too high, and the difficulties are not high enough. Okay, you don't have to care about defense. It doesn't break through the paradigm of min-maxing in the framework of the stat system. You just increase your attack, and that's it, like in Diablo 3. Well, then we will have an amazing time bashing it, if it's a flaw. We'll have a great time bashing it once I can one-shot things. And afterwards I will get to the final analysis and bash the game even more. And bash the game even more. If what you are telling me is like that, is not being able to break through the paradigm of min-maxing in the framework of the stat system, see if it's important to experience it at least once for a reviewer. In that sense, I think you will cannot do it. But I cannot wait to see you beating the endgame boss. I think you cannot do it. We'll see about that. We'll see about that here. Ender also from Poland is helping me farm a bit. He's helping me farm as well. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do about it. Alright, we're getting in Hades. No, about the variety of games district. One thing I can tell you, yes, is that one of the purposes of my channel has always been, right from the beginning, as I said, I give you a clue about it. The boss has 3 phases actually, an HP and ammo reset, and it's hard at every phase. Doesn't matter, district, it doesn't matter. It's because you guys are not used to see me do hardcore content. But trust me, I've dealt with nerve-wracking things. I beat Halo 2 on Legendary difficulty. I don't know if you know how much that can take. Halo 2 on Legendary difficulty. I am used to those things. That's why I say I love difficulty. So we say positive. Um, I have hardly. I'm not saying that I'm the best player ever. I'm not saying that at all. But with enough practice, cannot wait. With enough practice so far, I can say that I've beaten all games that I've started so far. I can say that. And I played a lot. I can tell you that. With enough practice and perseverance, besides, modern games aren't as nerve-wracking as old school ones. You know that, for example, once I had the terrible idea one fateful night to do the so-called one of the hardest games of all time, Battletoads. Granted, I didn't play the most difficult version. I played the Super Nintendo version. And I eventually beat it. It took me a lot of tries. I used saved states, of course. I used the saved states. But in the end, I could do it. And then after that, I remember someone said you will have trouble killing Baylor, and you did it. I was surprised too. Baylor was easy. I was at the same level. I don't know who was. I did it first, right? Baylor in that sense. No, if you have the same level, the game is not. Drakensang is not precisely once you farm to be at the adequate level. The mechanics themselves. You could see, for example, Typhon here gave me much more trouble. For example, Typhon here, you were there in the final boss fight of this one. You could see how it was a one-hit kill. Here I'm playing 10 levels below it. You can see that while I'm not a pro or any good player in the world, the fact is that since I played a lot of real-time strategy, at least my APM is good on average across all genres, and that gives me a bit of an advantage for the stream. So I'm not completely a noob regardless of the genre. Like the RTS genre gives you a lot of APM. That's it, District. You told me once, but I think the endgame desert boss you can do it also. Okay, Ender one-shotted it last time. I'll try it in the next one. The desert one, the one that I'm doing, it wasn't the endgame one. We'll see about it. Don't worry. Don't worry. Nothing is worse than sitting for an oral exam. No, not that. Yeah, like the total zone boss of all of the desert. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Do not worry. In that sense, that's what I always mention to you, this street. One of the purposes of my channel was that I wanted to expand the horizon of games that people played. In that sense, the variety and those things. Because, well, I feel that people playing a single game, not your case, because you told me, cannot wait to see it tomorrow. Well, District, in that sense, the real purpose, I'll tell it to you, I don't say it frequently because I don't want people to be aware of it. But you've been around quite a lot. And I told it to Patrick as well, after he stayed for some streams. I like that people expand their horizons in games, that they get to learn of the existence of other games. That's why I'm playing TitanQuest right besides Drakensang Online. One of my intentions is really that if any of you like Drakensang, well, at least you will see. For example, when you told me the other day that the skill tree was similar, to make those associations and appreciate other games, even if you don't play them. But that way you know about variety. And when you know about variety, for example, remember when I showed you the skill tree the other day and you told me it's quite similar to Drakensang? Yes, well, the fact that you could see that association, the fact that I could, I don't know, show something different to you, then the purpose of my channel is fulfilled. I expanded the horizon, even if you don't play the game. But you know of the existence of something different. And maybe in the future, maybe you get to try the game. The same goes for Patrick and Ambra. In the case of Ambra, I have a huge challenge because Ambra, if you're watching, you out of all of them, you're the one who loves Drakensang Online. I think the most focused one, but pretty much I always take the gauntlet and the challenge, people. Um, when we play different games, we force ourselves to use different parts of our brain, different parts of our brain, and that makes the cortex of the brain more elastic. And at the end of the day, it's a huge benefit. Just like when we learn and practice another language. Me talking here in English, I'm forcing myself. I'm forcing myself to use a different part of my brain. Streaming variety and constantly changing the rules of the game. I'm forcing myself to constantly deal with different variables. I'm forcing my brain to adapt, and that keeps the brain cortex elastic. If you only play one game, if you only speak one language, you are not pushing your brain. We all become silly and stupid, and we end up with a society of zombies. People, do you want to end up with a society of zombies? No, you don't. And that's why you should always, what I encourage for my channel is to expand the horizon. Try different games. I don't say that Dragon's won't be the one that you will love the most in all of your life. It will be your favorite one, just like Star Wars New Republic for me. But expand the horizon. Know about gaming history. I think that is what I provide to you all of the most value. Beyond my presence even. Beyond my presence. And whatever I can tell you about life. That I can expand your horizon of games. That's the idea. I never liked, I always wanted, and never liked playing only one game, and always wanted people to expand their horizons, or their horizons in terms of the games as much as possible. I think I'm doing a good service to anyone who watches me. Genuinely, a good service in that sense, a good service, because I was like that once, very briefly, that I only played one game. It was a Star Wars New Republic, and I realized that I was missing on a lot of others, and because of that, I despise not learning. I despise not learning. I need to be in a constant state of learning. I know if it's because I read so much that it's a permanent state, that I have a trauma, that I ended up reading so many books that I ended up in a constant state. I like to always stay learning. I've already mastered the game. I've already mastered it. Pretty much. I pat me on the back. Alright, I did it. Next one. Change me the rules. Make it difficult. That's why I like difficulty. Change the rules. Change me the rules. Make it as different as possible. See what, and then I can establish comparisons between games of the same genre. That's the beautiful thing of it, because I don't forget the ones that I like playing more than others. Then we can establish comparisons, and then we can be like educated, let's say, consumers of video games. In that sense, more educated people in general regarding the history and everything that I tell. Those things, as educated as possible in general. Regarding video games, people who only play Fortnite, for example, that I mentioned, you see me mention so much. It's not that I hate them. It's not that I hate them. I don't hate any of you if you only play Drakensang at all. I love you all. But if I have the probability, the possibility of recommending you games that share some common elements and that make your gaming experience, let's say your overall quality of life as a player, higher, I will take the chance and I will keep recommending you the games. If you don't play them, no worries. But I did my best effort. I did my best effort, people. I did my best effort. For example, a viewer over, precisely the viewer that subscribed for 6 months, Crowbar, he played a lot of games. He has collections, entire collections. He showed them over at Discord. That he has Nox, for example, and etc. But he told me, for example, back then, the message is still there, that because of my analysis of Sacred 2, he played Sacred 2 once again, and for me that's irreplaceable. That is the best part that I like about streaming variety. He told me, he wrote in the message, Crowbar, if you remember it, if you're watching this evolve, he told me, alright, I started playing again Sacred 2, in that sense, because of the analysis. And I said, well, glad that the analysis made the game revive. Or for example, Pekarin that the other day told me that they are going to remaster it and he could finally play with a joystick. Or, well, whichever game. In that sense, that's the thing. Expand, if you want my 2 cents, my humble opinion, expand your horizon as much as possible. I will do my best effort for anyone watching here. This trick, of course, you included, everyone. I will do my best effort to kind of like expand your horizon as much as possible. And if you also like it, if you also put in the effort, it will expand and you will reach the point in which you are like me, that I pretty much covered all genres. Pretty much covered all genres. And like that, you will have a huge variety of things to adore as games. And not only that, you will be able to establish direct comparisons like I do, and the average of all people in the world that watches my stream will be higher, and everyone will be more educated, because education rules the nation, people, always. And by education, I don't mean that I am like some kind of illuminated, amazing genius. I mean that objectively we can tell which game is good, which game is bad. That's the review part that comes into play. That's pretty much the idea. And the more I can provide of that, is the best. In that sense, it's the best I can give you. I can give you. For example, I'm playing this one right beside Drakensang, in the hopes that maybe in the future, when any of you watching, Drakensang viewers, you get tired of it, if it eventually happens, you will remember this one. This guy, pretty much. This guy pretty much. Show me that one. The skill tree is quite similar. It's similar. Why don't give it a try? You give it a try, you love it, and well, whoop, there you go. It expanded the horizon. The same. I also do that's why I do the game recommendations to anyone new that joins the channel. Those things. Pretty much. Okay, people. 4 hours and 20 minutes. God damn it. God damn it, people. God damn it. God damn it. I lost track of time again. Okay, let's go in order. First of all, thanks to Access and for being the first founder subscriber of the channel with the Prime subscription. And thanks to Crowbar, of course, from the bottom of my heart, for subscribing in advance, 6 months. Remembering, of course, he didn't remember, he was busy. He told me, with for your continued support of the channel. I know that you are busy, Crowbar, but in case you made it to this point, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Really, words cannot express my thanks that you've been with me 1 year. Crowbar, fine Irish gentleman there in the UK. Great guy, great guy. Thanks to the 85th YouTube subscriber here, that I don't have your username, because I need to log in back, and I have to log in back. I will prepare all of the subscriber badges, everything, during the weekend. I know that you don't worry and don't care, Crowbar and Axis and etc., and that you are quite kind, you are telling me, and etc., precisely, but I have a responsibility with that. Okay, I have to do that. Thanks, of course, District, from the bottom of my heart, for being at the beginning of the stream. Oh, well, it zooms in the game as well. Thanks to you, District, from the bottom of my heart, for being at the beginning, to Flying Energies, in that order. Then to Pillow. Well, today, this week, I received 3 unexpected surprises. The 2 subscribers after 1 week of hitting affiliate, and then getting to see you, Pillow, again. I am glad that you, in the end, weren't offended by that. By what I said, that I didn't like People's Party and Ursula von der Leyen. Please, no one get offended. As I've said, the main point is that everything that I say is with the best intention ever, even if you disagree with me. So, life has given me
You can't hold anymore.
3 huge surprises this week. I didn't expect, and just like I told District some seconds ago, just like there was always one person that would follow at the end of each month, back when no one would watch me. Of course, what could I say about two people subscribing and Pillow returning a year afterwards and telling me that he doesn't get offended. What could I say in that sense? Their words cannot express how happy I am that no one that no one was offended, and at the same time that um, that precisely I won't leave that legendary on the ground. Hang on a second. That precisely uh, two people, of course, as I said, well, one new viewer, and one, let's say, older viewer, like Crowbar in that sense, that both ends of the spectrum cared enough as to subscribe to the channel to be the first two subscribers. In that sense, really words cannot express it. I hope everything I do here is of value, everything that I said to you people, and of course, there we go. Oof, there's another legendary shit. There we go. Now where did we go? So thanks from the bottom of my heart, and thanks again to District for being then after Pillow left in that precise order. People, thanks to Axis Nova, to all of you, to the 85. I'll read everything, all of the notices next week once I reorganize everything during the weekend. District, never feel bad if you're watching this as a pod. Never feel bad to suggest me a game. I see if I play it or not. Don't worry. If you enjoy it, it's because you enjoy what I talk about it. So for me, that's what fuels me. And well, what could I say about uh, caring that I could get burned out of it? I thought about quitting back when precisely when no one watched me, but the second people started to watch me, never in that sense, no, never, never, never at all. Because as I've said, uh, for me it was more brutal reading those beasts of books that could be used as weapons right before starting to stream. That was much more of a burnout than you could ever imagine, people. It was boring, besides I didn't like it. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and see you all tomorrow when we'll continue with dragons, and we may do the desert boss at the beginning. We will do the desert boss at the beginning to prove that we don't need to one shot it, and then we can continue with it. Besides, with Ambra's skill tree and Ambra's and Patrick's skill trees, it's absolutely brutal. People, it's been my pleasure. Love to you all. District, you are an amazingly kind person and friend, both to me for caring about not getting burned out, and for caring about flying energies as well. So be proud of that. Be proud of that. I wish I could go there to Europe and invite you all to a drink to 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 celebrate it in that sense, to spend some time with you, because at the end of the day, once you die, people, it's not money that you take with you, it is these precise moments that you enjoy spending with people. For example, I will never forget that Pillow returned. I wasn't expecting that, or that Crowbar, well, that he subscribed for 6 months in that sense in advance. I also wasn't expecting that. I love it when life surprised me way too much this week. Way too much, people. I need to rest. See you all tomorrow. Love you all. Love you all. Love you all. We'll make it to the next expansion here next time. We'll finish the Immortal Throne expansion, and I'll finally get to Legendary difficulty. See you all. Love you all, people. Love you all. Have a great Wednesday. See you all tomorrow. Bye bye.